Welcome to the quest for details. I'm Nate, I'm your host, and today we are rockhounding this huge old gravel bed that we haven't been to this year on Putah Creek, north of Lake Berryessa, on the inlet side, and more closer to Hidden Valley and the highway that you can hear. And we have not checked these gravels. We have a bucket, we have a spray bottle, and we have a little bit of time. So you're invited. Let's go look at some details. Well, I've been looking and looking. I'm collecting greenstones and keeping my eyes out for everything else, kind of on a jasper agate hunt as usual. Just found this little teeny tiny crevicer, kind of messed up gobblyish little piece of chalcedony, and in the background of it I saw that. Oh, that's a big old crevice agate. Let me get that a little bit wet. It'll probably make it look even better. Wetter. Nice. Like a milky chalcedony on the outside, and then the two layers of opposing druzy that have stitched together in the very middle. And a little bit of iron staining on the outside, and all of the host rock long gone. Okay, so we're on the board with some agate. And quite a lot of territory to check through. Just got this big piece of bowenite, nice crystally green piece of nude. See, where's our little spray bottle? I can kind of show you what I'm looking at here. Nice, beautiful dark greens in there. Probably just make some knives right out of that panel right there. Nice crystalline green see-through material. It looks like emeralds when it's cut. And then here's an even better piece. Just beautiful, beautiful greens. Wow. Wow. Okay. This riverbed is coughing up some gigantic pieces of beautiful, pure crystalline bowenite. That is visually green. You can see that it's just some pure transparent stuff. There's like one fracture. Oh man, some of these surfaces are just so unfractured and pure, and look how big that is. We can just push that through the saw. We could probably carve a couple more of those knives like we made out of there. That is a big slab rock. That's what you're hoping for, is a big something, but not too big, so you can still get it through your saw. Of good material that's not so fractured. God, there's some really good stuff. Look at the colors in that. It's just ridiculous. I can't keep it wet because it's so dry and hot. You can see the green and the black. That's some super translucent, super colorful stuff. And again, really pure, high crystal and low fracture. Okay, it's a bowenite video. Turned into quite a supply run. Wow, look at these loaves. And then our big one, I can't wait to push that through the saw. And then let me show you way back to the bucket what I just spotted. Look how light this one is. See it? Let me spray that. It's an unmissable. Oh, look how big it is. That's crazy. Oh, wow. You hear it too. Super beautiful little lens. Look at that. So that's also translucent, but it's such a light shade that it's just beautiful as is too. The green on that and the black. Oh man, some nice pieces. So we're just gonna finish filling the bucket up, and then I have this feeling that we're gonna go back to the shop and slice some slices out of at least that one big loaf of bread that we just got, because I don't think I can resist. Yeah. Okay, let me see. We'll just gather up some more and then we'll head out. Look at that. That's crazy. I'm not saying Lena. How can I not pick that stone up? There's a crystalline green of it. That's so beautiful. The other one's a darker fractured version. That's absolute sugar gem. You can see the granules of the microcrystals. Piece of chert. Kind of an olive green. That's beautiful. That'll do, yeah. Ocean floor, some of the prettiest. Okay, it's just about to call it done. Ignoring all the landscape stones and such, and what's popping out here. Ooh, little wedge of chalcedony. It's got some dark stuff going on in there, and it's a very milky version of itself, but I think you can see the blue hue to the overall thing that kind of telltales it away from your average slab of quartz. It's probably the best, most translucent little look at its opalescence. We'll take it. We'll definitely take it. Another agate from the bed. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I think the other half of this video, we might put some of these green stones under the saw and see how big of a slab we can get out of it, because I'm kind of excited. Seemed like the perfect size to get some big slabs. That would be nice. All this material to go through. We got to break off here though soon, for sure. There's just so much. Big chunk of green chert. You can see the top and the bottom from when it was bedded as a sedimentary layer. It's one of the sure ways to tell that it's not a green jasper. Besides the fact that it's a chert, it's not a jasper. Well, there are definitely lots of other types of stones out here. We can definitely come back and look at them all. Here's another beautiful black and green tiger striped creature. You just spray that off. Look at that. So just nice little specimens, and I think with that we'll go ahead and head back to the shop, and I'll see you there in a second. Or maybe not, because I just came upon this. For size. You see the, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at? That is a big, crazy, bubbly, druzy covered, whatever that, flowstone, some sort of flowstone from where this was a crevice, I guess, inside of that type of rock, and it filled first with the druzy, which lined all the cavities with this nice botryoidal shape and all the crystals, and then it looks like it got a flowstone type of mineralization that poured down into the same crevice and coated it like you'd make stalagmites and stalactites out of. That is just crazy. That's crazy. That is the most wild looking thing. It's been beat on here, but those are all crystals. Wow. Wow, that is far out cool. It must have been like this because you can see the flow that poured down over it. See, like these close-ups, sure looks like it was dripping downwards right in these zones, like a bunch of little stalagmites coming down. So that's like the top of a cavity that grew all these little bubbly crystals, and then that stuff totally flowed down over it and then it all eroded away. What a crazy weird find. Let's spray a little, see if the crystals clear up for us. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. This is like, what? There's our agate for the day, for sure. Wow. Okay, and then we'll get on to the shop and cut the rest of this greenstone. But for anybody who is craving an agate, okay. So, we are back here at my desk. I left you out of the whole cutting part of this because if you've watched my videos before, you've probably seen it. I'm standing there, I use a tile saw, and I cut through this. So the story of this particular slabbing was that I brought it to the saw and tried to push it through like that. I think that you can see an original mark here. It was overall too tall. By the time I got about this far through the stone, this part of the rock was starting to push into the center hub of my tile saw blade and maxing out its overall tolerances, let's say. You know, there's a certain leverage maximum. Even if a stone fits, sometimes because of the hardness, it will be struggling to get through that much of a bite. Let's say, just like if you can picture anything biting down, sometimes it's just too big of a bite and it starts levering against the jaws of the thing, essentially. So it can create pinches and warbles and all of that. I run a good blade and a lot of water flowing over it. I have it actually improvised, so instead of using a recirculation pump, I have a direct lead from a hose and a direct out and keep it flushing. And anyhow, this is about as big of a thing as I can cut, and I'm telling you, this piece of bowenite is a 6. So this is the type of stuff that I'm always looking for, super crystalline and dark. And so it runs a 6, about the top of its hardness. Nephrite running, 6 to 6.5, let's say, and then jadeite running a solid 7, like quartz and hard jaspers are. So this is still for bowenite that can be 4 to 6 on the Mohs scale. This is some pretty hard stuff. So what I had to do is I had to reduce the height. So I went to this overall height between here and here that was feeding through the saw. So I flipped it. So to alleviate the height problem of being able to feed it through there, like that, I had to turn it like that and run it through. I decided to take 3 slices off of there. The first one gave us our interior view here, and you can see it's just very sugary, beautiful. The minerals, different shades of green that are actually in there, are just well stitched together. On the gloss side, you can see at the gloss angle, you can see it is just good stuff, except for the saw marks. There is just absolute conformity. This was a thin slice, taken mostly for color and for strength. You can see that we're actually at a 6, where this stuff can range 4 to 6 on the hardness scale. And strength, I could snap this probably, but I mean, that's some strong stuff for being that thin, folks. So this is the color of it. Beautiful. It can be all different tones and shades and variants, and that's what this one ended up being. So also the translucency can be different qualities, different levels. Yeah. So that's good stuff. And then the third slice, and you'll see some knife patterns on here because I'm reconsidering making a knife again. It takes 3 slabs of pretty uniform thickness to make one knife, but the knives turn out really nice. It'd be a crazy project again. I did it for Maker's Challenge a couple years ago. By taking those off of there, I reduced the height of our loaf that we're trying to get skinny enough to feed through on this side. I also took this off of here. Again, it's got a knife pattern on there. I apologize that I just couldn't hold my horses, and this piece is thicker on one side than the other, so it kind of gives us a translucency check in depth. You can see the light fade out in its ability to penetrate as it goes into a fully thick slab here, from a thin slab, from 0 to whatever, a 1/4 inch, almost a 1/2 inch. So by taking this off of here, those 3 slices, and taking that slab off of there, it gave me not only smooth surfaces to slide along the table, which is important when you're trying to take a big bite, or anytime you're trying to do anything smooth or uniform, because I'm actually pushing this through by hand. But yeah, it reduced the overall thickness of the bite that the saw had to take. So now we were down to this. So I went ahead and ran it through. Punk. We knocked that off. Again, that's another still a nice big piece of stock. The outside can tend to have fracturing from going down the river and stuff, so we actually lost some of that. And boom, that's what we ended up with. So now we have something that we can feed through either plane, this plane or this plane, because this natural surface is actually pretty flat too, or vice versa. When you have 3 smooth sides to something, it allows you so many options of slabbing on a stone, and it has made this overall, that's about as big as you can fit through this big tile saw, you know, but now it is something manageable. And it literally, I had to sit there and look at it and find that one spot where I could take off the first ones and flip it basically to be able to get it to where it is. But you can see the quality of the stone there. I think all the different minerals. We saw the color check, and you can see the sharpness of the edge, and just very happy with that. Looks like really great stock, and I'm excited to see what I can make out of it. So it's always easier when you're just starting with a big old piece of something than trying to make a bunch of little pieces into something. This could even be almost big enough for a coaster, but not quite. So that was by far probably our best find. Any of the pieces that you saw us find that we found together on this hunt would be fun for crafting. There's so many different shades and qualities and variants and stuff, but this one I'm very happy about. So literally probably next time that I have a second, I will be slicing this into its slices and then seeing what I start making, and perhaps I will show that on the channel. I definitely put things on Instagram and stuff like that also when I don't get videos made. Probably will film anything that I do with this, so the way to catch that when it comes out, if it ever does, would be to subscribe. It's free. It definitely inspires me to make more videos, and I appreciate it. And I guess that's it for this video. I would say thank you for watching until this point, and hope to see you on the next one. Until then, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other if you get the chance, and quest on.